When children don't play, they don't understand their own capabilities. Through play, children are learning that they are able. I think that parents are under a lot of pressure right now. And as early childhood educators, we can support them by explaining why children who play are going to be more than ready for not just kindergarten, not just first, second, or third grade, but ready for life. We want them to see the learning just as we see it. Because when parents can see the magic, they stand behind it. They talk about it in the community. And they fight for and advocate for their child within the school system. In play, there's no such thing as failure. You try and you try again. Repeated experience with materials, repeated experience with other people are not only teaching them about the world around them, but teaching them about themselves. I think that we need to provide environments that are conducive to play. We need to provide spaces where children are trusted and adults step back and allow them to do what they naturally do. So our work and our space is in ensuring that the environment will propel creativity. Play encourages a sense of collaboration, teamwork. They have to consider other people's perspectives. For example, there was a day on the playground where the children noticed there was a ball on the roof. So one child had an idea, and it was to grab a pallet. So they're halfway across the playground carrying this pallet, and another child said, no, it won't be big enough. So that had to be considered. And this was a time where 7 or 8 children were collaborating together, listening to each other, thinking together. Another child screamed from across the playground, I have an idea. Together, all of the children ran over and grabbed a ladder. The ladder must be 10, 15-foot ladder. They carried it across the playground. They distributed their weight. They tried different ways. They tried rolling it. They tried dragging it. They tried putting it on wheels. It lasted for about 30 minutes, a collaborative effort, a group of children working together, making a plan of how to get this ball down. If you haven't played, if you haven't had to collaborate, if you haven't had to take turns, then as an adult, you struggle working with others. This is about self-initiated passion and drive for learning. And as children play, those neurons are firing. Those connections are being made. Their brain is developing parts of the brain that don't develop without play, without interaction, without joy, without spontaneity. Children who are in a play-based environment thrive on trying new things. Something as simple as children making mud pies. There was a week where it was all the rage. The children started to create a restaurant. They were mixing sand and water and dirt. And after about 3 days of experience with this, they had a recipe. There was a certain amount of dirt, a certain amount of sand, a certain amount of water that made the consistency strong enough for a ball. There was a different recipe for pancakes and a different recipe for cookies. So I watched as groups of children not only understood the dynamics of creating this mixture, but were able to communicate it to each other. They were counting, they were sorting, they were measuring, they were doing science, math, there was language. Open-ended play materials like mud allow for a world of creativity. They allow for children to be the thinkers behind them. I call them thinking toys. Toys where they're not going to do a thing unless you use your imagination to make them do something. No batteries, no buttons, just children's creativity and imagination. That is what early childhood should look like. That is what math should look like. That is what language development should look like in the early years and beyond.
For more information, visit DEYproject.org.